So, here's some news that'll really bum you out when it comes to humanity. And this takes us over to Colorado. Food Not Bombs. Weekly Fort Collins food sharing shutting down, leading to rally and uncertain future. Every Sunday for 2 years, the Fort Collins chapter of Food Not Bombs had been preparing free meals for the meal sharing event held in Library Park. But on February 3rd, police showed up and threatened the group, saying if they didn't stop feeding the homeless, they would be ticketed. Doesn't that just make you feel good about humanity? This is the country we live in. Imagine that. Stop feeding the homeless. Stop helping people that need it. Stop. We're going to give you a ticket. We're going to give you a ticket. Serve and protect. We have colleagues that are white supremacists. Some of them are in the Coast Guard planning a big national attack, wanting to wipe out everybody on the planet. And they're in the Coast Guard. They've been buying huge stocks of weapons. And, we have no type of gun policy in this country. So nobody knows about that to say, hey, this is a red flag. But you're feeding homeless people. We got to crack down there. Now, in fairness, look at how suspicious this looks. Man, if this isn't, look at these three folks looking for trouble. Look at that. Hey, do you want something to eat? Hey, do you want to help us set up the drink station? They're probably planning a coup right now. They're gonna overthrow the U.S. government with Asiago cheese bagels and Cliff Bars. We know they're planning something. Look at how suspicious. So the next Sunday, February 10th, Food Not Bombs organizers with the Fort Collins Homeless Coalition organize a rally in support of the right to share food. Hey, we have the right to share food. Around 75 people, 3 times the usual turnout, gathered for the rally to show solidarity with the group. While Food Not Bombs has been holding the events weekly, City Park officials say they were unaware, with the volunteers cleaning up well enough and the event small enough that park rangers had never noticed. We gotta shut these people down. Who were they bothering? Nobody. Were they being destructive? No. Were they not cleaning up after themselves? No, they cleaned up after. We never even noticed it was going on. They totally cleaned up after themselves. So what were they doing? Oh, they were helping people. They were feeding hungry people. Why is that? We can't have that. Why? Because we can't. Those are the rules. Well, the rules suck. The rules are bullshit. How's that? The rules suck. You can't feed hungry people. If you're a corporation, you can evade taxes. You can not give people a living wage for an honest job. You can do that. You can use people's health as a profit center. You can use the idea of correction as a profit center via a prison industrial complex. You can do all that. You can overprescribe with the help of Big Pharma to get people on addicted to drugs that they shouldn't be addicted to, where they thought they were being helped. You can do that. That's all legal. Feeding people, that's where we draw the line. Can't do that. Can't feed people. Food Not Bombs has faced repression from local authorities for decades for feeding people who are homeless. The crime! The humanity. The first people arrested for holding these food sharing events were 9 people in San Francisco in 1988. 30 years later in 2018, Food Not Bombs Fort Lauderdale won an appeal court decision. So they won a lawsuit. But it looks like they're going to have to shut down in Fort Collins. Even though the rangers themselves said they were never bothering anybody. They cleaned up after themselves. They were fine. They fed hungry people. But let's get them out of here. And Food Not Bombs, I would say, you used to see Food Not Bombs around a lot. Because especially when I was a kid, I would go to a lot of punk shows. A lot of punk bands were involved with Food Not Bombs. A lot still are. And, it seems like you see them around less and less. And why is that? Because of stuff like this. Because they get shut down by authorities for committing the crime of feeding homeless people. That's something. Think of all the things you can do, especially if you're rich. Think of all the things you can do in this country. Not a crime. Feeding homeless people, though, that's where we draw the line. All right. Go humanity. We'll put this one in the win column. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your